didn't know that because we had talked about that before, and it wasn't said like that. So I'm kind of like, oh, maybe I'm lost.
Y'all, picture this, a courtroom filled with silent tension, flashbulbs blinking, and hearts pounding. Stormy walks in, calm, collected, but you can see the fire in her eyes. Marcel sits across the room, his jaw tight, clearly not expecting today's bombshell. Latisha, always composed, suddenly looks fragile, as if something inside her is about to break. No one speaks for a moment. Then, Stormy's lawyer speaks a name, and in that instant, the entire room changes.
Is there something that was said on camera that made you feel that way?
Was it? No, not on camera, not with the show, no. More so in interviews, like interviews.
My interview?
I can't remember if it was your interview, but it was other interviews for sure.
Because today is the day the truth comes out. Stormy's DNA proof destroys Marsau in court. Latisha storms out. And what nobody expected is just how raw this gets. From the beginning, this has always been more than gossip. This is family, betrayal, secrets hidden in plain sight. Today, everything explodes. Stormy didn't grow up in limelight drama. Before the cameras, before the drama, she was just a girl who believed in love, loyalty, and dreams bigger than her small town. She came from a home where love looked messy sometimes, where relationships fractured and rebuilt. She watched her parents argue late at night, heard whispers behind closed doors, and learned early that reality is never pretty.
It's been a tough year. It's been a tough year. Not for me, but for the people that are around me. And so I basically just want to say that God is a good God. God is a good God, and He's brought us through a lot.
But she also learned strength, how to walk away when something feels wrong, how to demand respect even when the world tells you to stay quiet. Marsau came into her life like a whirlwind. He was magnetic, charming, the kind of person you'd tell your friends, watch out, he might break your heart. But Stormy believed there was something deeper beneath that charm, a side of him others didn't see. For a while, things were good. Her social channels lit up with happy snaps, sweet dinners, their smiles next to each other. Fans shipped them. They called them the power couple. Money, status, influence, all colliding. Behind the scenes, though, things were unraveling.
I think that if you date women and you see how it is, Carlos, I think you might just like it. I think you might get delivered. Just try once. Just like, ooh, no.
Then there was Latisha, Marcel's partner, someone Stormy respected. Latisha had her own dreams, her own stake in the public eye. She built brands, kept her image tight, tried to balance love and ambition. She and Stormy shared laughs, they shared trust, but they didn't know the same Marsau. Through quiet nights and whispered phone calls, something was shifting. The lines between truth and lies blurred. Secrets crept in. As time went on, Stormy's smile flickered. She wasn't as active on social media. The captions got shorter. The glow faded. Fans noticed. The light had dimmed. That's when rumors began. Late-night texts, visits Marsau shouldn't have made, clandestine meetups. But Stormy held back. For love, for image, for hope maybe. When you care, you give second chances. But hope has limits. Then the whispers turned urgent. Someone claimed Marsau had fathered another child. Others said he was gaslighting Latisha, using her publicly while hiding private truths. Fans dug through old interviews, spotted glances that didn't match words. But nobody had proof, until Stormy did. Here's where the real drama unfolds. Stormy had documents, receipts, messages, things people don't usually share, the kind that make your stomach flip. She began piecing together a truth nobody could deny. It all escalated when she submitted a DNA test. Not just any test, but one collected under court supervision. The moment she did that, she crossed a line. Because this isn't just discussion now, it's evidence. The courtroom became the stage. The day of the hearing arrived. The entire internet was buzzing. Will she do it? Is this real? Inside the room, Marsau looked unsettled. His signature confidence seemed to flicker. Latisha sat rigid, composed face, but there was tension in her shoulders. Stormy walked in as if she'd rehearsed this moment 1,000 times, but you can feel she's carrying something heavy. When her attorney stood and laid out the case, you could feel the air shift. They presented messages where Marsau had begged Stormy to keep quiet, voice notes pleading, this can't go public. They produced timestamps, location logs, evidence she'd quietly collected. But the real earthquake came when they revealed the DNA results. Slowly, methodically, the lawyer read the lab report. 99.96% match. The room gasped. That number wasn't vague. It was devastatingly precise, the kind of number science doesn't argue with. Marcel sat frozen. Latisha's eyes widened. For a moment, nobody moved. Then Latisha slammed her hand on the table. Her voice cracked, shaking with disbelief. This is impossible. This is a setup. She stood abruptly, pushing her chair back. The door flung open. She stormed out. Cameras flashed. The courtroom stayed silent. That moment felt suspended, like the world held its breath. Marsau tried to speak, but his voice trembled. He said, I made mistakes. I never thought it would go this far. No excuses, no rehearsed apologies, just truth spilling out in a voice far weaker than his usual bravado. It was different, humbling. But Stormy didn't gloat. She didn't smirk. She looked resolute, stoic, a mixture of relief and heartbreak. Her eyes glistened. You could sense the weight lifted, but also the pain behind it. This was never just about winning. It was about justice, respect, reclaiming her truth. After Latisha's exit, the courtroom turned chaotic. Lawyers conferred, cameras zoomed, documentary crews hovered. The story was everywhere in seconds. The playback clips showed Latisha's face as she walked out, trying to hold tears, trying to hide what was tearing inside. Viewers replayed that moment. Memes exploded. Everyone had an opinion. But behind the viral moments, there was a real person crushed by betrayal. Then receipts kept dropping, leaked texts from late-night conversations, whispers of midnight visits to Stormy's place, screenshots of Marcel's private accounts. Some fans unearthed old video footage, moments Marcel looked off when Stormy spoke, glances Latisha gave her that now carried a new, painful meaning. One leaked voice note had Marcel saying, "I never meant for her to find out this way." Another had him pleading, "Let's keep this private for the sake of the image." But the damage was done. Stormy had locked in evidence before she moved, and in this world, evidence matters. Many assumed the next move would come from Latisha. She hasn't posted. Her brand pages stay up, but silent. Rumors say she's consulting lawyers, talking custody, image control, damage assessment. If she challenges her storyline, sues Marsau, or seeks to reclaim her narrative, this could blow up into even bigger fallout, because she's not just a bystander, she's central in all this. What nobody expected was how Stormy timed everything. If this had happened off camera in secret, maybe it would fade. But she waited, quiet in the background, until she had everything lined up. She didn't rush. She didn't leak half-truths. She let the full truth drop in the biggest stage possible. She turned rumors into court papers. She turned whispers into numbers on a lab result. That's not impulsive. That's strategy, and it sent shockwaves through their world. For fans, this changed everything. You realize that what seemed glamorous was built on lies. You see that smiles and photos can mask turmoil. You feel the betrayal as deeply as she does. You wonder whom to trust. Because in unfolding this, Stormy forced everybody to see reputation, love, image, they're fragile. And when someone you trusted hides a life under that, everything collapses. The weight of this moment on Stormy is immense. She's not just facing a legal battle, she's carrying emotional scars. The betrayal cuts deeper than the headlines. This is her identity, her dignity, her self-worth under assault, trust shattered, sense of security crumbled. Maybe Latisha feels only rage now, or heartbreak. Her public image, her empire, they all teeter now. She's been publicly humiliated. Even if she fights back, that moment of walking out will always be replayed, dissected, judged. She lost more than a partner. She lost stability, she lost control. Marcel, he's exposed. All his charm, all his secrecy, they can't hide now. He must face consequences not just legally, but emotionally, socially. He must reckon with the wreckage behind the facade. He must look at the person he hurt and own it. And Stormy, she has everything to lose. Relationships, family ties, friendships, fans who said they believed in her, her own heart, fragile yet fierce. But she also stands to gain something rare, her truth, and that, once reclaimed, no one can take from her. She's broken in parts. She sobs behind closed doors. She questions how someone she loved so deeply could betray her so deeply. She grieves lost time, lost promises. But she also pushes forward. She steels herself. She reminds herself this is her life, her story, her truth. This moment changes all of them. It cracks foundations, it forces reckonings. And no matter what happens next, whether Latisha fights back, Marcel apologizes publicly, or they all retreat in shame, the audience is left with new eyes. Nothing quite looks the same. So here we stand, at the edge of a story unfolding in real time. Stormy's DNA proof didn't just crush Marcel's denials, it shook the pillars of trust in every relationship connected to this. Latisha's exit from the courtroom wasn't just dramatic for the cameras. It was raw emotion, a woman ripped open by betrayal. And Marcel, he didn't spin. He looked small, vulnerable, caught. This isn't just entertainment. It's a caution. It's a reminder that truth has power, that silence nurtures secrets, that love built on lies eventually collapses. Stormy didn't just fight for herself. She fought for redemption, for respect, for clarity in a world built on illusion. What comes next? Will Latisha reclaim her narrative? Will Marsau face more legal fallout? Will this break alliances and reshape power in their circle? Of course it will. But beyond that, something deeper shifts. The audience won't just watch, they'll feel it. They'll question what they believed. They'll remember that the strongest truths aren't whispered, they're spoken, even when it hurts. And in the end, Stormy stands, not as a victim, not as a villain, but as a woman who forced the world to listen. And once the world hears you, it can't ever unhear.